never stop. As we shuffle the time, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. We're gonna be. We're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to the Armory. Welcome to X. Hope everyone's doing well. We're just going to do the match reaction to last night's game, which was just, yeah, it is what it is. Big up to Pop Brother, who obviously joined me last night as well to the game. You know what? I can't even go for the goals. I'm still laughing about it. To be fair, it was absolutely awful game. There's been some twists from some Arsenal fans going, "Oh, it's all right. It don't matter. What matters is next week." Well, it kind of matters to all the other 60,000 people that turn up to the stadium wanting Arsenal to win. But hey ho, we'll just ignore it. You know, people just want to waste absolutely loads of money going to watch Arsenal just draw. But yeah, we'll just move on. Big up to Chris. Hope you're doing well. Story of Arsenal season inconsistency. It's also, mate, really bad performances. And there's some really bad ones this season. Really bad. I'll be honest. I personally think we deserved to lose last night. Not just. I think we got away with it, if I'm honest. Because yeah, we were awful last night. Somehow we managed to get a draw. But yeah, never mind. It is what it is. So yeah, Kivia scored. Trossard scored. Eze scored for them. Mateta scored for Crystal Palace. 18 points dropped from leading positions. Yeah, you just can't make it up sometimes, can you? You just can't make it up. This is going to be a quick stream, as you could probably imagine. I really don't want to have to talk about it, but you know me, I like to do the reactions and the previews to all the games. And last night mattered to us. It would be the same. Oh well, to see if we get beaten by PSG. If we get beaten by PSG now, and not in a nice way, not really close. If we get battered by them, which is possible, you know, that PSG is a very good team. What was the point of all these Premier League games? Really was. Big up to all football. Big up, guys. As a Palace fan, I did a vlog yesterday and I was really surprised with the atmosphere at the Emirates. It was very good. Okay. I have heard differently, if I'm honest, about the atmosphere at the Emirates, that it was really poor. But obviously, I have to listen to everyone's thoughts on the atmosphere. But I have heard that it was quite poor last night. And obviously, me and Brenny were watching it. So from what I heard, as in watching it from home, I did feel the atmosphere was a little bit dead. Would I take Mateta as a striker? Look, this season he's been absolutely fantastic. I have to be honest, over the past couple of seasons before that, a bit question mark on him, if I'm honest. Would I take him? Not for me. I don't know where he could go. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest. I because Crystal Palace are a mid-table team. Um, I honestly couldn't work out where Mateta would go. Abroad, maybe to replace one of the big boys that will be leaving other clubs. Maybe. I just don't see him in the Premier League in one of the big teams. That's my personally. I've just seen your next comment. Maybe it was because I expected a lot worse, to be honest. Well, fair enough. No, I get that. I'll be honest, Havertz is not a striker. We, as fans, have had to cope with him being a striker, but he's not a striker. But yes, he is definitely better than Havertz. However, we will bring in a new striker. And then this is where I think maybe Mateta goes. So let's say Lisbon, Leipzig, possibly Juventus, because obviously Vlahovic could leave Juventus. So there's a lot of open slots across Europe, not just the Premier League. I don't want to, because I don't want to sound horrible to Crystal Palace, but the way he's performed this season, he looks better than Palace. But Palace aren't a bad team, like I said. For me, they're a mid-table team. I just don't know where he goes. It's going to be interesting if he does go, because you're talking about Eze. I'm looking at like all the different players that could leave. Like Gay could leave, Mitchell could leave, Wharton could leave. Eze is for me very likely to leave. How many of these players can you honestly let go in one window? Because you'd have to replace them with just as good quality, because otherwise you're then dropping your quality down, which you don't want to do, because you don't want to be fighting for a relegation next season. I would take Eze. I'd happily take Eze, but I personally think he's going elsewhere in the Premier League, personally. But I don't think it's Arsenal, personally. I'm happy saying get Pedro Gonçalves. I love him. I don't think we'll be getting him, personally. I don't know if he'll leave, to be honest, because again, Sporting Lisbon are very similar. How many players are they willing to let go in one window? They'd be mad to let loads go in one window, that's for certain. Because you got Almond, that Chris told me how to say his name. The one, the guy who begins with a H and then the J, and yeah. So his name's Almond. He's likely to go. You got Gyökeres that will go. Inacio might go. You know, there's other couple of us as well that could leave Lisbon. How many do you let go in one window without damaging the team? It's a tricky one for me. It's always a fine balancing act. So anyway, they are the goals and the goal scorers. Now, this is the bit that I'm going to start getting a little bit moany about. Right, so possession, we had 68% possession, 32 for Crystal Palace. We had 12 shots, 6 on target. Crystal Palace had 15 shots. 15. They had 4 shots on target, which obviously they need to improve. They had 6 corners. We only had 3. Bear in mind, this was at the Emirates. We were at home. This wasn't an away game. Final third phase passing actually 77% for Arsenal, 70% for Crystal Palace. It's pretty much on standard. Then we go into XG. Now, Arsenal on 1.18 XG. Crystal Palace were on 1.81. Open play 1.19 for Crystal Palace, 0.45 for Arsenal. Set plays 0.73. 0.62 for Crystal Palace. XG on target. Well, Crystal Palace didn't do very well here. This is why I did say that I think Crystal Palace should have won. Is their XG on target was less than their XG, which says to me, if you look at all the games that I've done throughout the whole season, when that is below the XG, they've underperformed. Now, ours is 1.82, which is above the 1.18. We overperformed on XG, but for me, we should have lost that game, in my opinion. Again, this backs me up. Duels, we didn't win any. 67% Crystal Palace won, 61% on ground duels, 90% aerial duels, which made no sense to me whatsoever. Don't know how that happened. Perfect dribbles, 70% for Crystal Palace, 44% for us. But the aerial duels, holy moly, that is awful. That is so bad. But Arsenal fans are out there going, oh, it didn't really matter. It's a dead rubber game. Really? I'll be honest. I want to win every single game. Passes, 711 passes for Arsenal. 700. Just make sure you all hear that very clearly. 711 passes. 92% accuracy. Fantastic. Crystal Palace 328, 83% accuracy. Like, what the heck was going on last night? It was a horrible game for us. Well done, Crystal Palace. After the past two previous bad results that you've had, you came to the Emirates and you put on a really good performance. Eddie, very, very good last night, I have to be honest. A lot of players turned up. Walton was very, very good. But yeah, absolutely mad. Sorry, guys, some of the comments. I was having a bit of a mini rant whilst I was having slides in front of my face. Evening, Bobby. Evening, Mike. I hope you're doing well. Still fuming. The blasé attitude from some sections of the fan base saying we have bigger fish to fry when we haven't even secured Champions League footy for next season is mental. Chucking away points. Couldn't say it better myself. Because I'm seeing big YouTubers, TikTokers now saying, oh, it's okay as long as we finish fifth. What? What are you on about? As long as we finish fifth? Hell no. God, no. No. I just, yeah. Sorry, Bobby, but since Glasner came in, he's made Mateta a wanted striker. So one of the things I disagree with you on. Don't worry, I'm not going to say you have an agenda. No, look, as I said about Mateta, he's had a great season. But I do feel last season he wasn't very good. But this happens, isn't it? This is what happens. You get a good manager and, a player just improves, and that's great. I'm glad Mateta's done really well. I just don't see where in the Premier League he goes. I just can't. I'm looking at all the different teams. I just don't see where he fits in, because I don't think he would be a first choice number 9 for any of the big teams. He would be a great option to have at one of the big teams. He could go abroad, could go to the European leagues and, as I said, replace one of the ones that are leaving, like Leipzig or Sporting Lisbon, Juventus, so on and so forth. There's many players that will be leaving over the window. So that's possible. That's possible. F1 better Formula E, says Mohammed. I'll be honest, I've not watched it. I have heard it's meant to be quite good. Brenny's agreeing with Michael. 100% agree with you what you said. Yeah, it's for me, it's frustrating. It really is. Right now, obviously, for people that read the thumbnail, I have to talk about Ødegaard, but we'll talk about the team first, and we'll talk about Ødegaard very shortly. Raya, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, Lewis Skelly, Partey, Rice, Ødegaard, Sterling, Martinelli, and Trossard was the. But yeah, that was the starting lineup. It was all right, I would have liked to arrest a couple of other players. However, clearly, none of them even bothered getting out of first gear. So I'm pretty sure none of them have wasted any energy. But this is the kind of game, if you're going to have players that literally play at 50% output, just don't play them. So you know what I mean? It's like, come on. But we'll get into Ødegaard in a minute. Oh, actually, yeah. No, Glasner came in late, didn't he? I can't remember when he came in, but he hasn't been there 2 full seasons, has he? I can't remember when he came in, but he's a very good appointment. But I don't think, honestly, he'll be at Crystal Palace next season either. And if you just look at Mateta, I saw Mateta before he came over. I didn't get it. I just didn't personally get the signing because I didn't see the quality personally. And last season at Crystal Palace, he wasn't fantastic. Not all of the season anyway. This season he's been brilliant, and that happens. Like I said, these things happen. You have a new manager, and you just connect, and it just works out. But yeah, it's one of those. Michael saying hello to Brand. Big fight on Saturday. Yeah, Chris is actually going to that, Mohammed, as well. So, Chris, I hope you enjoy the fight. Right, let's talk about Ødegaard. Right, it's my understanding that at the end of the season, Ødegaard will be having an injury assessed. Now, the theory is he is not been fit for quite a while. Now, this is me making zero excuses for Martin Ødegaard, because personally, if you're not fit, you shouldn't be playing. That's my theory. And, if I was the coach, if he was injured, I'd go, okay, if you need surgery, mate, go and have it. We've got Ethan. We can put Ethan in. We could try something different in midfield. Just get yourself sorted. But in my opinion, at the end of the season, he will be assessed, and I've got a horrible feeling there's going to be some kind of surgery done, and I think he might be out for post-season, pre-season, whatever you want to call it. That's my theory. I have heard that he is below 90% fit, which is not good enough. All players should be over 90% fit all the time, minimum 90. I prefer 95 personally, but some managers go with 90. Yeah, if it goes ahead. Well, hopefully it does, because the amount of hype about it. But anyway, let's do some ratings. I'll be surprised if anyone gets a good rating tonight, if I'm honest. Be honest. Right, Raya gets a 5. I can't defend him for last night. His positioning was just rubbish. He just made bad decisions last night. So he's getting a 5. I'm sorry. He's had a great season, but last night's game was just atrocious. Timber gets a 7. It was decent, but nothing special. Saliba gets a 6, and I'll be honest, lucky to get that, if I'm honest. Kivior gets an 8, because I thought Kivior was fantastic. Again, that literally did nothing wrong. If he did make a mistake, he really cleaned up after himself very quickly. So yeah, Lewis Skelly, I have to be honest, it wasn't a great game for him, so he's gonna get a 6, because it just wasn't a great game. Here we got Party. Party gets a 7, because it was decent, but not outstanding. There was a few moments where he just looked a bit. And like I said, if you look at all the duels, we lost every single duel last night, and he will be the main component to that. Rice and Ødegaard. That puts me on to Rice. He gets a 6 as well. I didn't think it was a very good game for him either. There's just badness. Ødegaard, it wasn't his best game. It wasn't his worst game. So I'm going to give him a 7. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 7. I've got to try and sleep. These ratings are good enough. Sterling gets a 6. I can't defend him. Martinelli gets a 7. It was a decent game, but yeah, he needs to look up more. Bless him. Trossard gets a 7 as well. It was decent, but it wasn't fantastic. That's the best way I could put it. Kivior gets the highest rating, solid once again. Yeah, exactly. I think I've that's what I've gone through is I've given him an 8. So that kind of works out in the end. But yeah, I agree. BX solid again last night. Only stadium fights I went to was Fury Chisora at Tottenham, Usyk and Dubois in Poland, and this one, Poland, lovely. Right, let's go into the subs. Saka came on for Sterling. I just can't pluck up a number out of thin air and go, I feel comfortable with this. So I'm going to give him a 5 because he came on. He came on the pitch. Again, it's like no one wanted to go above 50% effort last night. It was just a horrible performance from the Arsenal. And I hope Arteta is angry because I put some of the blame on Mikel about last night, but the players, jeez, what the hell was that last night? Tierney came on for Lewis Kelly, but didn't come on for long enough, in my opinion, to get a rating, and Ethan came on as well. We'll score Hover. He's going to get a 6. It wasn't fantastic. We did score from a set piece, but defensively we looked a little bit whack. Just wasn't nice last night. Oh, Mikel. I'll be honest, I was on probably a 2 rating last night because I was just furious with him. But the more I thought about it during today, I've got to put him on a 5 because yes, he picks the team. Yes, he does all the training. But last night, the players, and I suppose technically him as well, because he was less animated, I felt, last night on the side of the pitch. Now, if this is his plan to do a 50% effort game, to basically concentrate on PSG, we're Arsenal Football Club. We're not Tottenham. It's as simple as that. Now, at the moment, I don't believe that is the situation. However, if I find out differently, I will come back to this game rating and I will change that score. But at the moment, I feel that the players are to blame the most last night than he himself. But yeah, it is what it is. Right. So obviously, we've got no games this weekend. We've got the Arsenal women versus Lyon on Sunday. I won't be able to cover it, but I will be doing the PSG match preview probably on Monday, ready for Tuesday. That's the plan. That might change, but I'm going to guess it's going to be Monday. It will be done. Then obviously the match reaction will be done on Wednesday. Then we've got Bournemouth, I believe, the following weekend. And yeah, we've literally only got 4 Premier League games left. Amazing. We've only actually got, currently in our fixture list, we've only got 6 games left. So yeah, not many left to do now. But yeah, thank you ever so much for joining me, guys. But yeah, I shall speak to you very, very soon. Take care. Speak to you later. Bye-bye.